Okay, so welcome to webinar 2 on your level 3 diploma in personal training. What I'm going to take you through on this webinar is step 1 and step 2, the first things we really need to be focusing on in order to start our journey on this coursework. So you should now have received your Learner Achievement Portfolio for your level 3 diploma in personal training, and you should have also received your case study portfolio. Or some additional documents there, which I'll show you on the screen to be able to complete some of these tasks. So if you scroll down, again, I'm going to take you through it, highlight it, make you aware of where this is, but obviously you guys can go away, do this in your own time, and take as much time as you need, as much time as necessary. So again, we've got the contents page, which I highlighted on the intro, and scrolling down, if you haven't already done so, please make sure you have completed your learner's agreement, learner's declaration. So you'll just type your name, just pop a quick signature in there. So if it was for me, I might just pop something like M. Hamer, and then the date that I have done that. Okay. Then as we keep scrolling down, it will bring us to an assessment introduction. So as I mentioned in the intro, it'll take us through everything that is required for this particular part of the coursework. And then we get to where we're going to start this webinar. So case study, personal training client. So again, I'm not going to dictate this and read this. You can do this in your own time in an environment you're comfortable with. But basically, you need to produce a case study using each of these steps in the following guidance. So the first thing I'm just going to make you aware of is actually selecting your client. Now, if you're on one of our full-time courses or blended learning courses, so you attend an assessment centre in the week or the weekday, a client will be allocated to you. It'll be somebody else who is participating in the course. If you're on our e-learning journey and you're doing this sort of away from an assessment centre and you're doing it in your own time, you obviously need to make sure you have a real person. This person will be your client, and you will need them to be able to participate in your observed consultation, a little bit like you will have done at level 2. And also you will need to be able to train them as a personal training client for your practical session as well. So again, the person you pick, make sure, first of all, they're ready, willing, and able to give up a little bit of their time to assist you along this journey. So choose wisely, guys. And I'll let you sort of read the rest through that step 1. I don't want to take all your time just dictating what's on the screen, but just make sure it's somebody who's ready, willing, and able to really support you along this journey. And treat this as your first personal training client, guys. You can build up a really sort of good portfolio of how you may go on to work with future people. So really take this as your first personal training client. Once you've selected who that person is, we're going to move on to step 2. And this is the food diary analysis. So during the course, you will need to analyze your client's nutrition in relation to their goals using a food diary. So again, just having a look at your client's current eating habits. Now, within your case study portfolio, I will show you where you will get your client to fill this information out. So you should have the tutor may have sent you this as an additional document. They may have sent you this as part of a whole case study portfolio. But if it's part of the case study portfolio, a little bit like is on my screen here, you will see that we will have food logs and an analysis. So you will have 7 individual food logs on this portfolio. Now, you can either email it out to them, you could print this out and hand it to your client. You don't have to use this as a template. If your client perhaps is already doing this on MyFitnessPal, you could get them to fill 7 different days out and then take a screenshot of the MyFitnessPal and send it over to you. The key bit is that we need to have 7 different logs in order to make a good full analysis for our client. Now, really simply, you will fill each log out, or your client, will fill each log out. Again, email it to them, print it out for them, get them to do it on MyFitnessPal, however you want. So again, example, make sure we're trying to get as much data as possible, really. So again, for breakfast, it might be 2 egg omelette. with that they had handful mushrooms, 1 red onion, thumb-sized portion of goat's cheese, 1 black coffee, and it could be something 500 mils water. It's entirely up to your client. If, for instance, your client struggles for time in the morning for breakfast and doesn't eat anything, you're not going to put anything in there. But it might be, if they've got no breakfast in there, the hunger level might be very hungry. And this is everything we're going to analyse after. So if I have a look at hunger level, after I've had that, I would say wasn't very hungry whatsoever. And because that breakfast sounds delightful, I was very, very happy with that breakfast. So you will get your client to fill their 7 food diaries out for you. And as you can see on the case study, you need to have 7 days totaling a full week of food consumption. Now, once you've done this, you then have a table, have a log of where you will sit down as the trainer. Again, you can do this in your own time and environment you're comfortable with. You could do it with the sat with the person, or you could take it away, do the analysis, and then give them a quick call and chat with them afterwards. So clients' goals regarding healthy eating or any fitness-related objectives, they may have chatted to you that, you know, the main reason they've come to see you, come to approach you, or wanting to help you with this course is fat loss predominantly. You're then going to have a look at any eating or drinking behaviours that are detrimental to the client's health. So it could be, are they eating too many processed foods? Is there too many takeaways in there? They're having, just excess calories throughout the day. There might be a lot of fizzy drinks, whatever it is. Okay. So you're going to, but everything you're going to put on this analysis, please make sure you are really looking through those 7 days, okay? Because the information they've gathered there is what you're analysing on these recommendations at the bottom. And you will follow each guideline, and your answers are going to be very dependent on what data you have collected from those 7 logs. And as you can see, it'll take you through a couple of criteria that you will need to complete on each. With the macronutrient analysis in here, some people will not be, if you've got it on the MyFitnessPal, for instance, it'll put you percentages of carbs, protein, and fat, so you can get that down in there. If not, you might just make them aware of the predominant carbohydrate foods that they're eating. So it might be sort of veggies, it might be cereals, that kind of thing. Protein, are they getting most of the protein from like animal meats? Is it non-animal meats? They're getting complete proteins, incomplete proteins. And similar with fats, are they getting a lot of processed fats? Are they having sort of monounsaturated, polyunsaturated fats? So again, you can highlight what are the sources of foods they're eating from each macro. And like I said, the information is going to be very, very dependent on what your clients has filled in within their food logs. Okay. Now, if we quickly go back to your LAP here, once they've completed those 7 food diaries and you have done that analysis, that will be that section complete for you. So again, here you've got ascertain the client's goals regarding healthy eating, as I mentioned before. Provide a client with a 7-day food diary template, done. Explain to your client how to complete the food diary and ensure they complete it for 7 days, done. Obtain the completed food diary from your client, check it, and then you're going to review and analyze that section for them. Now, what you will do here, if you just take this, you must include a copy of the client's food diary and your analysis recommendations in your portfolio. That's why we've popped it into a big document for you, because that section is taken care of. So the last little look at the LAP is, once that has been complete, we as tutors and assessors have a marking criteria to look for. So we will say, provide a copy of the food diary completed by the client. Yes, you've done that. So we will hit that mark. Have they given what their client's nutritional goals are and overall overarching goals are? Yes, they've done that. And we will go through and make sure you have hit each of that criteria. We'll give you your allocated marks. We'll tell you if you pass or referred, and we will get plenty of feedback in there, so you can take that away with you for further professional development. Once you've done that, I'm going to do another webinar on step 3. So just to conclude this, it's step 1, selecting your client, make sure it's someone who's ready, willing and able. And then after that, it is going through the stage to make sure we have got this food diary analysis complete. I hope that's been useful, guys, and best of luck selecting a client and doing a food diary analysis. See you on the next webinar.